YouTube, it's Louis here. Hope you're all well. We're looking at Quant today on the daily time frame. We're still faffing around in this area. Again, another day under the 382 fib, another day under the 55 daily EMA. We were speaking about this potential fractal yesterday, how it could be taking us back down to $50, $45 to $50. This fractal is simply picked up from here, and from this point, the highest point here, down to here. I've just shrunk it to size over here because as we can see, we have this left shoulder over here, right shoulder. Potentially, it's just potential. Again, it doesn't have to follow this fractal at all. We can go up again. We can of course go up all the way to 188 I've been talking about on the channel, and still come lower. So again, that would not be following the fractal whatsoever. But yeah, the fractal is just showing you that we could be following a similar path. It doesn't have to be move for move. Again, we know that we have our right shoulder over here. We actually can go higher because we have our $150 psychological level. We have a $168 descending triangle neckline, so that would be resistance. You see, when we lost it here, you ran into it as resistance a few times and you came back down. So when you come back into it in the future, and that could be now, that will still act as resistance. Could go down first, but eventually when you come back up into that, it will be a resistance. So I'm just showing you that there's many resistances ahead, but you're not even at them yet. You're still trapped under this one, which is our swing high. We're talking about this in yesterday's update, so I hope you guys were tuning in. It's important to go check out today's Bitcoin update. Yeah, we were just going in a bit more detail on the lower time frames, and yeah, giving out a good few pointers, a lot of free value today, just to see if you've learned anything from the videos, and taken notes, and if you've used that on the chart to spot some potential trades that we saw on Bitcoin yesterday over the night with the daily candle close and some nice 4-hour closes. Go check them out. I went through last night's price action, so you understand why essentially we did go up today. And so again, if Bitcoin was showing signs last night that it was going to go up, that is specifically why we're also seeing Quant trying to push up, but again, facing very key resistance at the 382 fib, but also the 55 daily EMA. You can see this is actually a good setup to try and break up again, but if you're not actually closing above the 55, it's just a further lower high to make a lower low and eventually roll over. In yesterday's update, if we zoom in here a bit, we were talking about how this could be a head and shoulders pattern, but there's two necklines and we'll go through them now. So we have this over here, shoulder, head, shoulder, and you need to wait for the neckline to break, but there's also a horizontal one. So what we're seeing over here is pretty much the same as what we saw back over here with this head and shoulders, which we were calling for last year, and a lot of people didn't want to hear it, but it eventually happened. Anyway, continuing, with this head and shoulders pattern, we have this purple neckline, right? But we also have this 150 psychological level. So once you lose this, you're coming down to here, but you need to wait for this to be lost, because you could be bouncing around those two lines again, because you haven't lost this yet. It would still be acting as support, and you've just lost this. So this would be your resistance and this would be your support, and you could be doing something like that until it decides up again or down. And of course, in this case, it just went down instantly, and then it went back into its resistance, came back down, didn't lose the low because it is still support. So you're going to see, okay, can I break this resistance I just set? No, I couldn't. Okay, can I break this support that I just set? Yes, I can. Okay, that's pretty much a signal we are going to lose this low. This is a higher low. If you lose the higher low, you're pretty much destined to lose this, as there's a larger build up of bodies over here, less over here. So if you lose this as you're coming down, you're going to lose this. And then that's how I knew we were going to $70, but we were calling for 70 way up here. So it's the same principle over here. You've got this upward trending one and this horizontal. And so what you need to understand is that at the moment, the pattern's not valid, and there are chances, as long as we're holding this support, that we're trying to break above the 55 daily EMA. That's why I said it is still a good setup to try and break out bullish, because you could essentially say this is one bottom, this is your neckline, this is your second bottom, and you've got a small double bottom within. So it's just all about breaking the neckline, which is a slightly above the 55 daily EMA, but yeah, we'll just call it about $30. You've actually got a wicks a bit high at 134. So yeah, we need to see a good momentum push through this area of about $5 between 130 and 134, 135. Yeah. So again, lose this, you draw a more accurate line, of course, something like this. You can use a different quant chart because this quant chart does sometimes have gaps. So we'll just head over to this one. I'll get rid of the fractal. So you could draw a line like this, and you got your shoulder, head, shoulder. Your pattern's target to the downside would be if you lose the neckline with a daily candle close, and you haven't done so. Can you see it was over here where we went down yesterday's daily candle, where we actually were below? What you need to see is for us closing below by actually engulfing this red candle. It's a signal we want to now head up, and we're seeing that with today's candle. So the signal was in yesterday's daily candle close. And remember, this is why I'm on the daily time frame showing you guys, because this is a very powerful strategy. Of course, we haven't gone up tons today, but again, 2%. If you use some leverage, wow, 10x leverage, you could have had a 20% move. 5x leverage, 10%, and that was just in one candle. So of course, with this, it was all shown in this. So we were below. That would have signaled continuation back down to here. This would have still been a support, and we need to wait for the loss of this to validate a bigger head and shoulders pattern, potentially back down to this low. Yeah, as you can see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nice. So yeah, if you like that, like the video, and of course leave a comment to bump up the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already, and of course turn the notification bell on. If you want to check out the memberships, there is an early access membership level which you get again, early access to the videos. Of course, this signal over here, which is something that we went into on the Bitcoin update, which I urge you all to watch. This is a bullish sign, so that's why in today's candle it tried to test the lows, it failed to lose them. That's the signal we want to continue up and try and break above this. So I am anticipating we come up to the daily 55 EMA, and that's sitting at about $127. If something drastically changes in 9 hours time, because again, 9 hours time is the daily candle close, and this is not a confirmed candle until that point, we need to see that again, this uptrending line hold. If we somehow do lose about $117, this is where we come back down to 112, and a daily candle close below 112 will signal a push back down to 105. But at the moment, you're setting up again in a potential ascending triangle, which is a bullish pattern. So yeah, probably going to make that the title, because I don't know what else I call the title. That sounds enticing. Ascending triangle or double bottom, because that's what we potentially got over here. So it's also a bearish head and shoulders, but a double bottom as well. Or ascending triangle. We just need to see which one wants to play out. But for the moment, what I'm seeing, and again, it's not confirmed yet, so we need to wait for the confirmation at midnight. So wait for midnight. Are we going to close above essentially this wick over here? Well, there's a good few wicks. This is annoying area. 122. Let's wait for a daily candle close above 122, and then we'll essentially continue to the 55. But again, understanding this is key resistance. The fact that you ran into it here and got rejected is negative, because you're essentially setting up for a lower high to continue lower. But this is a good first step over here, finding support on this previous upward trending line. Yes, you've created a head and shoulders pattern. It's not valid yet though. It can validate the moment we're closing below the red line. Until then, you've got this potential ascending triangle, and the expectation is a retest of the highs. That could be just 127, could go until 130. Okay, once we're getting above this, that's our signal. Okay, Quant is going up, at least in the very short term, up into this very specific golden pocket. I need to go back on the other chart now. So this golden pocket is an area of resistance. Understand that. So even though we could be seeing this bullish setup, oh sorry, have you just realized on this chart it hasn't hit the 55? On this one it has, so that's annoying. But continuing. So yeah, it's still the same level though, 122. We want to see a daily candle close above that. That'll signal we're coming up to the 55, but you've done it on this chart. So yeah, you have to wait for the exact same thing. Wait for a daily candle close on the other chart above 122, that will signal you actually touched this. But on this chart, you've already touched it. Again, if we do have this ascending triangle, breaking above $130 will signal this impulse towards $140 to $160. And what would need to be done is this being flipped into support like this. It's not what should happen. This is something called a reversal wave. This could create a bullish pattern, an inverse head and shoulders, or something like that. Shoulder, head, and then shoulder over here. But that's not what should happen. That would be the bullish case. What should really happen is a push into this key resistance and then a continuation lower, a dead cat bounce. So although we could be seeing an ascending triangle forming today, don't forget that there's also the the head and shoulders pattern that could send us down. But also understand that even when you come up into this golden pocket, you could see something called a dead cat bounce, which just signals continuation lower. I don't know where exactly this is going to stop at, where we could just stop here. We're waiting for those signals. That's why we've seen this head and shoulders pattern set up down here, and that's what could send us lower. But as I've explained in the video, it's not valid yet, and we're waiting. Are we going to break this resistance, validate this potential double bottom to head into here? But once the pattern is done, understand we could still be doing a dead cat bounce. So what would be interesting is let's do an actual little experiment. This is very rough, going to be rough targets. It's not going to be these exact dollar targets, but yeah, like this video if you want to check out these targets right now and do this thought experiment. Again, I've explained in prior videos, you can come even to the 786. We spoke about this in today's Bitcoin update, and yeah, you can actually go all the way up to the 786 and continue lower, but that's not the expected move. The expected move is anywhere between the 050 to the 0618. So this experiment is going to pretend that we've topped out at either the 050 or the 0618, so we've actually got bearish targets lower, but also an actual pivot point where things can actually flip bullish. So again, as I've explained, what should happen is when we run into this golden pocket, we should break this low, go lower than 86, and you can see that'll be a massive head and shoulders over here. So of course, the people holding and the bulls do not want to hear this. No one wants that. Yeah, why would you want to pass on cheaper to accumulate cheaper anyway? So what we're going to do now is pretend that we've topped out at the 050. You can see there's another golden pocket here. So what this means is that if we topped out at the 050, you should go lower, but you could find support over here in this golden pocket to actually break above the old golden pocket and make this reversal wave to head up to higher prices. So there is that potential scenario. It's not really what should happen, but again, I'm going to let you guys know as that's happening, this could be an area of key support. And that's if we top out at the 050 over here at 140. If we continue higher to about 160, you can see this drags up to about $109, $117, where we are sort of right now. You can see where we form this left shoulder support, and yeah, where we're forming this right shoulder support over here. And that's only if we top out at this 0618 at $160. If we do so, we've got some targets to the downside, and they're telling us we could be heading up all the way down to about $60. Again, the further you retrace, so of course this was our push down, the further we retrace back on that move, if you come up to 188, and then I have to put the 0 fib up here, and your targets become deeper. Do you see that? So the more we retrace, yeah, the bigger the dump eventually. So you can see the 1618 down at $53. This was our full experiment today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's update. Please do like, subscribe, and comment. Check out the membership levels if you want to get early access to these videos. And yeah, I'm looking to do a live stream this weekend. I don't know what time, but yeah, this weekend, most likely on Saturday. Thank you guys so much. Again, like, subscribe, and comment, and peace.